moaning.
Welcome back to
Keep it.
Welcome back to Juice in the Morning. Shane and I have already been chatting for a little bit, but we're about to get into this podcast. This is, I think you've been on for enough to be considered a regular now.
Yeah.
I mean, you are the co-host now.
We did. I don't know if we're supposed to drop this, but we did add my name to the logo.
Yes, and I will be uploading that to iTunes or Apple or whatever soon. I have to figure it out. It took me forever to figure it out.
If you don't upload it by tomorrow, I'm out. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just kidding. I can't take the pressure.
So we missed last week.
We did.
What happened with that?
I don't know, man. I just All Hallows Eve fucked us.
Shane woke up in a ditch with like no recollection of how he got there.
Yeah, I just like I woke up in the hospital with a wristband. It said John Doe.
And they were amazed that you were alive.
Yeah, I had a couple toes missing. I have some permanent
He lost
scars.
those in an underground like poker ring with like the people from with Frank Reynolds, and
which is crazy because I don't know how to play poker really. So I'm just.
It's probably why you lost the toes.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, the Halloween was a good time. You guys already know how Jen and I got into the house, so
yeah.
We talked through that on my Juice in the Morning update. I didn't even count that as an episode either, so
that's good.
I think that's legit.
That'd be kind of a cop out if we were like episode whatever.
Yeah, if we got to 100, it'd actually be like 99.
Yeah, there we go.
But we are getting close to 100, so
are we?
So we need to start thinking about stuff to do that's like a little bit different. So
we can do that.
I think I want to have a lot of the people I've already had on as guests. Like I want to have them like call in or something.
Hell yeah.
And just kind of like let them congratulate me for getting to 100.
Exactly. Yeah. It'll just be the whole thing. It'll just be like, congratulations.
Exactly. Just tell me how awesome the podcast is, even though they might be lying about
they
it.
want to, every time I meet someone, one of your friends, and like, great addition to the podcast. I'm like, you fucking damn right I am. I just feel really great. I'm like, that really like, I don't try to act like it. I try to be like all modest and shit, but like it really toots my horn. It feels pretty good.
I try to, like, it's what I've talked about before though, is I want people to give like an honest opinion.
Yeah. Like,
and telling us it's awesome all the time is cool. Like I enjoy that, but I also want people to say, well, this sucked.
Well, I haven't seen anything maybe I'm looking in the wrong places, but nobody really says anything negative, and I kind of wish they would. It sounds bad, but like I want to know what we should work on.
What can we fix?
Yeah, and if I sound like a fucking douche when I say certain things, or I misspeak or say something stupid, I'd like to know.
Yeah, well, a lot of the times I see or I hear what you're going for, so like I don't correct you because I'm that kind of person that like I understand where they're going, like I don't need to correct them. There are people out there though that correct you, and there are people like my wife that finishes my sentences all the time. Like she legit like
it's true love right there.
Oh no, it's annoying as fuck. Like I get so mad because I'll be thinking about what I want to say,
right?
And she'll say something it's not what I was trying to say.
Well, I do that shit all the time where I'm so bad about starting a story and not knowing what the fuck I'm talking about. Like you'll be like, or I was like, what's that actor's name? What's it? And then you have to go and figure out what I'm talking about and I feel bad about
we definitely
that.
need to get you like a computer so that you can like look stuff up while you're
I thought that's cool. Like a lot of podcasts I've seen, they have a giant TV on to the side and they look up stuff as they're
the Smugcast that I've been on. They have one at the end of their table and they look up YouTube videos while we're in the middle of talking.
Maybe we can get a homeless guy to be our producer and he could just come in here. You give him a meal, give him a nice. You had steak and eggs the other day?
Yeah.
You just make 2.
There you
and
go.
And then TV, and he'll just...
We do have a spare room as well. I mean, he wouldn't be homeless anymore.
There we go. Well, I don't know if you want him to live here, but have him come over. He can sleep down by the little creek you got here, and he'll come in every Sunday and just kind of scroll around with the mouse and help us out.
I think that's a good idea. I think we're going to be finding homeless Joe here in a little bit.
Because we can't pay anybody, so...
for sure can't pay anybody.
Yeah.
It's a thankless job. I do want to get like... I've seen other podcasts, they do have like videographers and like people actually like filming while they're doing it so that they can upload it to YouTube, and it looks a lot better than me just filming us from the corner on my little like mic stand over there.
I think that's a good idea. And switch back and forth from faces while they're talking.
Yep.
But that's something that like you're not like you don't really get to be all that involved with the podcast.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It'd be hard to. I don't know. You just have to find a good friend that wouldn't mind coming in every Sunday and doing that.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I barely found you, man.
I fucking loved it. I love coming in here and doing this.
It is one of the best hours of the week, and it's what we talked about with, like I want to be able to put more time into it. Like, I've told people before, I probably put 1% of my time into the podcast, and I wish that I could at least increase that to like 20 or 30%.
Yeah.
Like
this is a full-on hobby, and if you're only putting 1% of your time into your hobby,
yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of it's a money thing, and we're kind of figuring that out, but I think if it's important enough to us, we'll fucking make it happen.
Yeah, and it's what I've told people before, like it's not just even the money, like a lot of the times I'm scrambling before I talk to somebody to like write down questions or write down stuff to talk about because I didn't prepare during the week, which I should do.
Yeah, but also to give yourself a break, you work like 60 hours a week.
Yeah, the promotion has kept me at work.
When we're
a lot
texting
more.
and you're like, "Yeah, I'll be home at 9." I'm just like, Jesus, dude, fucking salary.
And I went in at like 10, so
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So like, I mean, you can only do so much.
Yeah.
I mean, and I got full-time school, watching my little lady, my little daughter, and
what did she dress up as for Halloween?
she was a mermaid.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
She was and then her little friend was Doc McStuffins. And
did we ever get into the Moana thing? No, because we didn't do our episode like we planned on.
No, we got too drunk.
Yeah, so that's a ridiculous thing that I just heard lately, like on a news article that it literally said, it was from Cosmopolitan. It said, probably don't dress your child up as Moana this year if they're white.
Probably don't tell me what to dress like. If my daughter wanted to be fucking Michael Jordan for Halloween, she can do that.
You're gonna paint her in blackface?
No, I wouldn't do that. Blackface is a no-no, but she can totally wear a Michael Jordan jersey.
That would be funny if you did.
Oh my god, no, that's too much.
I get why the picture of her crying, like the crying
Yeah.
Jordan meme.
Well, I get why people might get a little upset with that because that's a little overboard. But like, especially Moana is like,
it's so big.
90% of every kid's favorite movie. If it's not Frozen, it's probably Moana.
Yeah, and the songs are good.
Yeah. I can't even think of one right now. My daughter always does that thing where she's like, she like the Moana in the movie says to Rock, whoever the Rock's character is, she's always like, "I am Moana and I am the princess of this and that, and you will board my boat and sail the blah blah blah." But my daughter is like 2 and knows the whole thing. It's pretty impressive.
So the Moana song that I love the most.
You're welcome.
That's it. That is it.
It just popped in my head.
I was literally.
Who knew The Rock could sing?
He can do everything.
Jack of all trades.
Bullshit, honestly.
Yeah, like big, giant, ripped guy. Just
great teeth.
Yeah, he's like posting shit on Instagram at 5 a.m. Like, just got done with my 3.5 hour workout. I only need 2 hours of sleep.
He literally sleeps like 3.5 hours.
He's a fucking robot.
And then also, not only is he doing that stuff, he's literally doing Make-A-Wish Foundation events literally every day. Like, I've seen it on his Instagram. Like, he yesterday was like meeting with 2 kids. It was a Make-A-Wish Foundation. Then 2 days ago, he was driving in a Lambo because literally a kid's dying wish was to ride in a Lambo with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah.
And he barely fit because he's 6'4", 260 pounds.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
And
he's like the richest actor in the world.
Yeah, and he still seems like he's pretty humble and down to earth. So Dwayne the Rock Jock, he is kind of now for president, right? So we're doing that.
I think
I'm pretty cool with that.
I think it's gonna happen. And then, like I've said before, though, it's like Idiocracy are.
Yeah, so give it all the shit you want about like, oh, we can't have actors with no, like, at least he's a good dude.
Oh yeah, and I mean, it doesn't, just because he doesn't know politics doesn't mean that's.
I mean, that's kind of like a lot of his job.
I know, but I'm saying like he's gonna make the right decisions.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down to, this is stupid, but before you're a politician, you're a person. He's a good person.
Yeah.
I'm sure he can learn the politics. He's a smart guy. If he can learn all those lines to every 18 movies he's in every year.
This literally takes me to a specific idea. This is what I've always wanted to ask people about and see what their opinion is. So a lot of actors, they memorize these lines for example, like doctor roles and things like that. Do you think they actually know what they're talking about, or do you think they're literally reciting things that are written and they don't have any idea how to perform any of the procedures or anything?
No, I feel like it 100% depends on the actor, because I know like certain actors will go like do that for, what was the
method actors.
I'm gonna do that thing that you hate. What's the guy?
So there's Johnny Depp.
No.
I'm
just gonna start naming actors. No, the guy from There Will Be Blood and
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis went and worked as a cobbler, a shoe cobbler, to be in one of his movies, and literally did it for like 6 months and learned how to be a shoe cobbler.
Where is he gonna do that?
He went to like Europe.
He went to like Denmark, or is those the wooden shoes?
Those the wooden shoes. Yeah. And he was and I heard Shia LaBeouf actually pulled out one of his teeth for...
Shia LaBeouf's fucked up.
Whatever, dude. He's awesome.
He is cool. Like, he usually does a good job in most movies. But
he is fucked up. But
he's a really weird guy.
I like him because, first of all, Even Stevens. How do I...
I never watched that.
More? It was good.
I never watched it.
And that kind of, I liked him from that when I was a kid, even though he's kind of annoying. But then... he's a good ass actor, I think. I mean, he is a little crazy, like sitting in a room and letting people come in when he's got a paper bag on his head and letting them do whatever. That's
like beat him up and slap him, and
he's trying to make some kind of weird statement.
Like it's like a performance art or something like that.
But I honestly think, have you seen Jim Carrey lately?
Yeah,
he's fucking nuts.
I think he actually did some shit or did like ayahuasca or something and realized a lot of stuff about himself and the world.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he. But I don't know. He's like he doesn't completely not make sense.
No, I don't think it's crazy.
I think he's just so over all the bullshit, and that he's just not the same person that he used to be, and he finally learned that. And I think Shia LaBeouf is kind of like on that. I mean, I think
Jim Carrey can't go anywhere without people knowing who he is.
Yeah, exactly. That would be so annoying. And being an actor, I think it just I don't know, obviously, but it does that to you. Like there's certain things.
You were saying like Even Stevens with Shia LaBeouf. So he's literally been a celebrity since he was a kid, and it's what I've wanted to know what it would feel like to not really know for sure if people liked you or not, because they may just want something from you. Well,
you're getting so many different opinions from all these different people all the time. I'm sure these people are seeing all different kinds of opinions of them, and that'll do enough to you just at that. Reading about what
I actually like reading comments when people comment on this, but if it was all just like negative, like poisonous posts, I think it might wear on me after a while.
This isn't even the ounce of the kind of shit they're getting.
That's what I'm saying.
Imagine people they'll have people talk shit about them on like I'm sure Jim Carrey, some TV host or somebody is just like, oh, Jim Carrey's on live television or on an episode of this show will just talk about how they think he's crazy, and that's kind of mess with you.
Yeah. Well, he also probably doesn't care.
Yeah, at this point, he's I was listening to his interview, and he's like, I am not even me anymore, and all this.
Yeah, he's definitely on a different planet now.
Which is, I mean,
it might not be a bad thing though.
Who cares? I mean, he's already done so much. He's awesome. He's already done all this cool shit. Just leave the guy alone. Let him be crazy. Who cares if he's crazy?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are a lot more crazy than Jim Carrey.
Gary Busey. He's not Gary Busey crazy yet, but Gary Busey has an excuse. He got in a motorcycle accident and busted open his head.
Accident. I did like that.
He asked about the accident. It's an accident.
That was good. I like that. But yeah, so what were some of the things we were going to talk about since we missed?
Pokemon cards. No.
Okay, tell me the story about your
okay,
Pokemon
so
cards.
I thought I'm actually going to bring something to the table today, and actually, I came up with something to talk about because I don't ever do that. You're like, "What'd you?" I'm like, "I got nothing."
Usually, it's at the end when I've run out of everything to talk about.
So this is a pretty basic thing to talk about, but I think being a '90s kid was pretty fun, and having a lot of things, fun things came out when we were kids. And Pokemon was a huge deal to me, and as you told me about 5 minutes ago, Pokemon was pretty...
I got really into the games. I didn't get into the cards or any of the other collectible stuff, but the games I spent a lot of time playing.
Yeah, same here. I had yellow, red, and blue.
Yep,
and
I caught them all.
I lived out in the country when I was a kid, and I had a 2-hour... I was the first one to get picked up and the last one to get dropped off, and it took 2 hours for me.
Jesus.
And I would just sit there and
That's
play.
That's torture.
Yeah, not
when you have Pokemon.
Got a Game Boy. But I beat all 3 of those, and I had This is not an exact 3,000 Pokemon cards. Like not even, like and like I had a whole book that was just the.
So did you play the game with them, or did you just collect the cards?
I just collected the cards
because a lot of people didn't even like because it was a game. It was like Magic the Gathering.
Which, oh my god! So I don't. Why play a game with cards when you have a Game Boy to do the same? You can
actually do it.
But there's these kids at I go to Ivy Tech and they sit and, like I'll go from class to class all day long from 1 p.m. to like 5 p.m. and I'll see these same kids. I'll walk by the cafeteria and they'll be in there playing Magic the Gathering for fucking ever.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, my cousin plays Dungeons. Well, it's not Dungeons and Dragons. It's probably called something else. But anyways, he plays that, and that goes on forever.
It's not Yu-Gi-Oh, is it?
No, it's literally Dungeons and Dragons. It's just like a different game book.
I was into Digimon too because I would come home and
I thought Digimon was so lame. That's why
I liked them both. But
I was like, this is the poor man's Pokemon.
The only one that held up to me was Pokemon. But like back in the day, I would come home and Pokemon and Digimon would both come on because I had like 4 channels.
Yep.
And I had like bunny ears, and it was.
I too also grew up without cable.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
they got it literally the day I moved out.
Yeah.
Like my parents were like, "All right, now we're getting cable."
I would like mess with the little ears for like what felt like hours.
So if you want to talk about obsessions with Pokemon and like those cartoons, and so I was really into Pokemon. I was really into professional wrestling. I was really into like a lot of those kind of like nerdier things. What I would do is not only would I watch the shows on like Saturday mornings, we had a VCR and I would record the shows so that I could go back and watch them again after the show was over.
What a nerd. I'm just kidding.
And
I did a lot.
And I used to get pissed if it was recording and I wasn't, because sometimes I had to like do chores or something, so I couldn't actually watch them. So that's why I would record them. I'd get pissed because sometimes the TV channels wouldn't come in right, and I would have to move the bunny ears.
Yeah.
But I actually wasn't there to do it. So the whole video I have is like all out of like it looks like those scrambled porn channels that you used to watch when
you see a nip every
like couple of minutes.
Yeah. Oh, I saw it. Did you ever Nintendo 64?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone that was our age. But I had Pokemon Snap.
That was a lame game.
Whatever, dude.
It was a lame game.
Man.
And it was hard for me. I wasn't good at it.
That's why you didn't like it, because you sucked at it.
That's true.
No, but I thought Pokemon Stadium was stupid.
Yeah.
But Pokemon Snap was cool to me because they
have a new like Pokemon Stadium game for the Nintendo Switch. My little brother has it.
Oh, cool.
And literally it's like the Stadium game, like but it's not turn-based. You're literally jumping around like Pikachu, fighting, like he was fighting Charizard as Pikachu or something like that. Nice. It was pretty cool. That. It was really fun. But where did we even get there?
So Nintendo 64, GoldenEye. Mm-hmm. I will murk anyone in some gold. I used to be that guy that would put mines around the doors.
Yep.
And then people would walk through it and I'd blow them up. Yep. I was
pretty sweet. That system was one of the first times that I think growing up that I remember figuring out that I found my presents before the day. So like I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And I think that shaped me because as a kid I loved the surprise. Like I loved getting like a present and like not knowing what it was.
Yeah.
And as an adult I still like that, but I get too like anxious. I want to tell everybody what I get them. We've talked about that before. But I think at that time I literally ruined my own Christmas because I was like looking for something in my mom's closet and found Nintendo 64 in the box laying in the back of the closet.
Yeah, like, okay, now I know I got it. Now Christmas is going to be a little less fun because you don't get to open it and like the surprise. Yeah.
And I had to act super excited and surprised when I opened it.
I have this really...
Because she told me she would never get it for me.
I have this really funny memory of my, Christmas at my dad's house when I was a kid. We opened everything up and like I opened up half the stuff and I remember that I learned that I had to be excited because if I wasn't excited enough, my dad would get like shitty. And I remember one time I opened up this gift and I just pretty much like threw it to the side and was like, whatever. And he was like, I'll take all this shit back. Like, I'll put all this stuff back.
That's not good.
No, my dad was just like, pretty intense about it.
So I just realized that I have every other mic on, so might as well just mute those because then maybe it won't sound as echoey.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Hopefully it sounds better now. I don't know. It probably sounds about the same, but I just wanted to mess with it.
I can't tell the difference, but I did hear something change. But
we were adjusting the knobs earlier, and like we still
adjusting the knobs. I never feel any stupider than I do talking into a microphone that is not being recorded. Like when you're just like, what do I check? I just feel like an idiot. If you're a sound check guy, that's your whole life.
Yeah, but I think they can tell. We can't tell.
Yeah.
We can't tell the difference.
No,
I adjusted 2 knobs and it probably sounds the exact
same.
same.
How's my voice sound now? I'm like, the fucking same.
Okay, so we do have some news articles that I thought were. Oh no, wait. Let's get back to Halloween still. So we never actually got to talk about what I wanted to talk about. If you could be any monster or like character from like a scary movie, what character would you be? Like, because there's a bunch. There's like werewolves, there's vampires. Those are the basic ones, but I'm sure you have something else out there.
So just taking into consideration all the bad things that come with like being a werewolf is like at night or on a full moon you turn into a werewolf. Yeah. Vampires can't go out in the light. I actually don't have anything in mind for like a monster, but because they all kind of have like a shitty part of being a monster.
I mean, unless you're like the Twilight version vampire, you're glittery and you can go out in the sun and you're kind of gay.
Oh, that's fucking stupid. Yeah. I always thought they. Like,
I read every book.
No, I watched every single one of those movies. But the part about it, they made it too like cool to be a vampire.
Yeah.
Like it obviously has to have.
There was no negatives.
No.
Besides that, you wanted to kill people, but
look like a shiny diamond when you're in the light. Like, oh, poor guy.
And you live forever. So one thing that I did hear is, or I've heard people discuss on other podcasts. I mean, he is like 100 and something years old, and he's hitting on high school girls.
That's fucking weird.
It is weird, isn't it?
And he has a baby with her.
Yeah, it's a fucked up.
So, but that's totally fine.
Yep.
Everyone just overlooked that.
All right. Okay, so you're not going to be a vampire.
So I don't want to be anything that's like deteriorating, like a mummy. Obviously, something where I look like shit, like where I'm like look dead or anything. So
you don't want to be a zombie.
No, not at all. Because
you just have like
do
things
I even
falling
have
off.
Do I even have a conscience or like we gotta get? That'd be too much, But I think. I don't want to be a mummy because that just sounds fucking god awful.
This might sound weird, but I have had dreams that I am a vampire.
I think I have too.
That I can like run across the tops of roofs and like I'm like chasing people.
Have you ever had a dream where you're like when you're just running and you can jump and then you just go for like really like the Hulk and remember
I can't believe that you've had the same kind of dream that I've had.
I think it's a common thing.
Because mine is if I get running and jump hard enough, I can fly. Like I actually won't come down, but if I can't get up to speed, I will like come down.
And then as soon as I saw the Hulk movie, and he does that, he just jumps for like miles at a time, and he's just like leaping. It made me think. I was like, "That's awesome," because that's exactly how I feel in my dreams.
I actually, in my like vampire dream, like a long time ago, I dreamt that I was almost like a Dexter type vampire. Like I only like killed people that like were bad people. Yeah. So I mean, I guess cool. I'm trying to be like cool.
Active imagination.
I'm trying to be good in my dreams.
Mine are just all blurry and shitty, and I'm just doing one constant thing. And you're like, yeah, I'm Dexter of the vampire. Like it's very
well. And I write down like whenever I wake up, if I have like a really cool dream, I open my phone into my notes and like type in like exactly. So I have a funny one that I want to share actually on here.
I have the weirdest dreams, and then I wake up and they're gone. But I know that I just remember feeling like weirded out that they were so weird.
So this is a couple of different dreams that I've had, and these are dreams like I only write down the dreams that happen like this because there's 80 to 90% of your dreams I'm like the first person, like it's looking through my eyes.
Right.
I'm doing what's going on. But then every now and then I have dreams where like I'm almost like third person and I'm watching stuff happen.
Never had
almost like a movie. Like I'm actually watching a movie while I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
So I write those down, and so I'm not going to give them all. I'm going to give 2.
Okay.
Radically religious person secretly puts tape recorder in a confessional booth, severely punishes the sinners. Priest finds recorder and starts investigating, trying to figure out who the person is carrying out these punishments.
What the fuck? That's weird.
So like and this is literally my thoughts when I woke up. So like I don't really have anything to flesh this out because I don't really remember what I was thinking at the time. But like I start to think that it's kind of like almost like a revenge guy. Like, but then the priest starts to kind of like maybe this guy's not wrong. Like this person's talking about molesting children, so he goes and kills the guy or something like that. So I don't know. That might already be a show or a movie, but
you got it from somewhere deep in there.
And
somewhere.
Then this one, this is hilarious. So this is just word for word what I wrote when I woke up. Dog loses boy, bus, bike. So I'm thinking like maybe the kid was like getting on the bus or something like that, or riding his bike or something. But anyways, the dog gets picked up by scary guy. Follows bus, turns off onto side road. Dog figures out guy is bad, causes wreck. So like the dog starts freaking out and causes the guy to wreck his car.
Can I just say that how funny it'd be if like someone were just to happen upon your phone?
Exactly.
Dog, bike, road, turn left, and they're like, was he trying to write some like shitty screenwrite?
Exactly. So then, so dog figures out guy's bad, causes wreck, starts wandering, becomes ninja dog, cartoon idea. Or kids book idea, trained by ninja cats at a trailer park.
So he's a dog that's trained by ninja cats?
Yep, at a trailer park. So they're like trailer park
Every
cats.
other movie would say that cats and dogs don't get along.
Exactly. But they take them in.
Okay. Like, it's kind of, you're getting a Batman vibe with the Legion of Shadows. It's like,
that's weird.
I'll become a ninja with the Legion of Cats.
And saves boy later reunited with him in the end, obviously.
Duh.
So that's like, those are my thoughts. So that's not exactly the dream I had. Like the dream I had involved the dog meeting cats and like that kind of stuff. It was really weird. But like I said, that's why I keep track of my dreams, because it's fun to go back and look at them. And I legit think if I would actually learn how to write scripts, I could probably write some scripts to some of the ideas. I have a whole page of ideas in here like that.
Yeah.
That are just really weird and off the wall.
You're a lot better at putting things to notes than I will ever be. I'm just like, I should write this down. Nah,
I'll remember. Yeah. It's like a steel trap
I do
up
that
here
all the time. I was gonna say a better question on going back a little bit for the instead of being a monster.
Yeah,
maybe something that'd be a little easier to figure out is like, what if you could be any like superhero, like not have any superpower, which I think is kind of a cop out question, but like if you could be any like Avengers, you might have done this on the podcast before when you did the movies reviews.
Not really.
If you could be like an Avenger or a part of the Justice League or just anyone with powers, which one?
My first one's Captain America, just because I like Captain America.
Yeah, he's dope. But just, I mean, like, so you would wear that and have those powers.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm real big.
He's the most beloved member of the group, I think.
Yeah, he definitely is.
But I also think that it's also the reason I picked Captain America is because he's kind of opposite of the way I actually think about things. Like I kind of think darkly about a lot of stuff, but I like don't think I would follow the same path as him.
Yeah, he's very
he
sticks to the rules. He does everything right. But then it's kind of the opposite though, because in Civil War he does everything
different than that,
just for his little boyfriend. But and then Iron Man
definitely is his boyfriend too.
Yeah, they're definitely having sex. But him and Iron Man, and then Iron Man's the one doing everything right, and that's what you never. That kind of throws you a curveball. Yeah. Obviously, if you haven't read the comics, but it's just kind of
they're great movies.
I agree.
And I just saw Thor, and it was awesome.
Jealous. Don't say anything. No spoiler alerts.
I'm gonna ruin it all. Thor actually dies. No, I'm just kidding.
Thor gets a haircut.
He's not actually in Infinity Wars. He's actually dead. No. But yeah, like I mean, Captain America, just because I think he's cool. I mean, powers wise, if I was ever to be able to have powers, instantly would be control stuff with my mind, like psychic powers.
My two would be either to stop time completely, like everything stops and I can do whatever I want, or
cool,
or to be invisible.
I don't think I like it. I don't think I'd like invisible.
Invisible is cool because you can just like for the time thing. I always think about all the cool shit I could do. Like if I'm running late, I could stop the time. If I
think there's like a tornado happening outside. Like I just looked outside and I felt the walls moving around us. So
that's creepy. I don't like tornadoes.
Go ahead. Sorry.
What was I saying? So stopping time is cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think the stopping time is a really cool one.
But then what comes along with that is, I guess, in a lot of movies they do the thing where you stop time but you age faster because you're still going at this high rate of speed.
Yeah.
So totally got that from Clock Stoppers. Remember that movie?
Mm-mm.
It's like a
was it good?
It's a kid movie. or a kid, like a teenage angst movie. I don't know.
Was it any good? I don't know.
I liked it. You should check it out. His dad is like a scientist. He gets a watch from his dad, and he can stop time, and he's like saves people. But when he first figures out he has that power, he does all this like cool shit. Like,
I'm always in for like powers that like you can use to your advantage, like that. Like for example, if you ever saw the movie Jumper or whatever, where
that
he
was
could
cool,
like,
yeah.
if he could picture the place, he could like go there. Yeah. That's really cool. God damn it.
But I remember also in what's that?
But he would like go to he'd go to like
the top of the pyramid.
Yeah, or he would go to
the inside of a bank.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah.
Click. Also, he stops time and punches David Hasselhoff in the face.
That was good.
So that kind of gave me the idea of stopping time too, because
that movie was messed up.
It's kind of, what do you mean?
Like, it was just weird. Like, I mean, it was very depressing for like Adam Sandler.
Dark ass turn. It was all like, oh, this is fun, and then at the end he's like, I'm dying and I'm old and I'm in the
and I never experienced my life.
And like, my kids hate me and like,
God, I hated that.
And then
movie.
If they didn't do that shit at the end where everything was fine, I would have like. Boy, I would have been shitty.
You probably would have wanted to hurt yourself.
Yeah,
after
and then you messed up with Kate Beckinsale. Come on, man. And then remember the guy from Frodo, Sam.
Sam Wise.
Yeah, Sam Wise. That was her new guy.
No way.
Yes. Have you seen Stranger Things?
He was in Stranger Things too.
Bob. Well, I won't give any spoiler alerts on that either.
That was.
He's the real superhero.
That was rough.
He's a super. If I want to be a super, that's Bob from Stranger Things.
No, I don't want to be him.
I don't want to be him. I'm just saying he's a real patriot.
I don't want to end up like him.
He nutted up.
Well, I mean, if we're going to talk about the true patriot though, like what about the guy that stayed in the building helping him try to get out
and then survived?
Oh, he did.
He's all like he's like, how's your leg? And he's like, it's good. And they meet in a diner.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he's the guy from Mad About You. I'm just like, I
don't even know any of these shows.
I don't know people's names. Obviously, like I keep asking you, but I know
you.
He was with.
My mom loved that show.
What's her name? Her Hunt or blonde girl with her Hunt. I don't know something.
Helen Hunt.
Helen Hunt. Yeah, and him. We're in.
For some reason, I thought she was hot in Twister. She was in Twister, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she was also in What Women Want. With Mel Gibson.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
So if you like, that's what I was talking about with the psychic powers. Like, not only can I move stuff with my mind, I can also like control people's thoughts or something like that. I think
so. Like some Professor X type shit. Yeah.
Definitely like that.
I think one of the baddest X-Men ever is Jean Grey.
Oh yeah.
The Phoenix, man.
Yeah.
She just like that scene
murders everybody.
That scene where Wolverine's walking to her and his like body parts are just like
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Even though those movies kind of got like progressively worse after the first one.
Yeah, I'm just the comic book fan of me kept me coming back for more. I could see how people that didn't really know.
Well, most shows like that you come back to because you're invested. Like for example, The Walking Dead. Like I'm going to start watching that again, even though I've heard everybody say it's getting terrible, and that it's just not that good. And I'm like, well, I'm invested, and I want to see how.
I gotta know what happens.
I want to see how it ends.
First of all, I love the character Negan, but I can't wait till they fucking put a bullet in that dude's head.
It's weird. They've done that with.
I hope he died.
Like, what is it? 3 bad guys now?
They kind of do. They just have this one person that's like.
That's the most hated person.
And then they just keep getting worse.
Yeah.
And then like they keep getting more like savage. Like he's just beating people in the head.
Like even like the governor.
Yeah,
like the governor was such like. I remember Jen losing her shit and wanting to throw the remote at the TV when him and Rick were sitting down having a conversation in the barn. Like they literally. She was drunk, obviously, but she was yelling at the TV, and I like thought she was gonna throw the remote.
That guy.
Exactly.
I've had hate for people like that. Like I can't think of.
I just don't think that. Like I don't get that invested. But the one movie or not movie, the one show that I've gotten invested into where I literally was like, was Game of Thrones.
What was that? Yeah, because you fucking hate what's her God the queen's name?
Cersei.
Yeah, she's a real.
I'm just gonna be here so that I can.
I'm sorry, man. I know that's annoying. I don't mean to do that. But,
it's not that bad. It's funny. It's a good thing to have as a joke on the show.
Who's and then you just have to like. It's like I'm always like putting you on the spot. Like who's this person?
I'm usually pretty quick about it, but
she is like a cold hard.
Well, and then like. they just surprise you with stuff, and a lot of times you don't get surprised anymore. Like, for example, Stranger Things, like I kind of like saw the stuff kind of happening as it was happening. They're not trying. I don't think they're really trying to surprise you, though.
It's still good though.
Oh yeah, awesome to watch. I'm just saying, like, it's awesome to watch something that surprises you. Like,
I think Game of Thrones is pretty surprising, I think.
Yeah. All the time.
Like, they kind of keep you on your feet, and you're always wondering, like,
like the very first season, like I got into it and like I had posted on Facebook, watching the first season, like, you know, and I'm like, and I was way late to the party because I'm way late to the party for almost every show.
Yeah.
So Game of Thrones, I was like late to the party, and I was like, oh man, Stark's such a badass. Like, this is so cool. Like, he's such a cool guy and like a cool character. And I feel like people were just sitting back, like waiting.
Ned Stark.
Yeah, like waiting for me to like actually see what happens to him. Like, they're just sitting there like, oh, I can't wait until he sees. And then they can talk
One
shit.
does not simply insert Ned Stark quote. Yeah, at least they didn't spoil it for you.
Yeah, like I'm pretty good at not like spoiling stuff for myself. Like, if I see
Christmas morning.
Except for I did ruin that.
Yeah.
Call back to that. Good job.
Yeah.
I did ruin that for myself,
Full
and now
circle.
forever I am always wanting something to be a surprise.
Did you like Ramsay?
No, he was.
Who did you hate more, Ramsay, the Queen, or I don't know. There's another person that's well hated that I can. Joffrey. Joffrey was a little.
Joffrey was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I honestly don't really hate the Queen. Like, I know that that's terrible, but I can't really think of things that I don't think she shouldn't have done. Like, she's doing what she thinks she needs to do to keep herself alive.
But just for her family, not for the people of the whole.
There are people out there that like that. Like,
that's true.
You're gonna protect your family.
When it comes down to it, it's your family. But maybe don't be the queen. Like, go do something else and just take care of your family.
Maybe don't fuck your brother.
Yeah,
and have some really fucked up kids.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's pretty.
I think that's I don't know, the most hate.
Well, you don't seem like a lot of people, or I guess one way or the other. Like Jen, you said she hated the governor.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you just don't seem like the person that just like gets that much hatred for a character.
I get more, and it's what I've always said, is I get more intrigued by the bad guys because like what makes them bad? Like, why are they? And they're usually cooler than the good guys.
I don't know. Jon Snow's the fucking man.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Not one thing I don't like. I don't think he makes the right decision always.
But that's why I loved Robb Stark, and that's what I was talking about. Like, that was one of the only times that I've ever been like, what? Yeah. What do they do? What?
He gets.
What are they doing?
He gets it from his daddy.
I was literally thinking that he's gonna survive this. Like, even as he's got like 19 arrows sticking out of his chest, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's definitely gonna walk away from this.
That's not how he died.
Didn't he get a bunch? Yeah, he got a bunch of arrows in the Red Wedding.
Nope.
Yeah, he did.
Nope.
Robb Stark?
No, I'm talking about Ned.
Oh yeah, he got his head chopped off. I was talking about Robb at the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
And like, I was thinking that he was going to survive the entire time.
Yeah, but then homegirl
comes up and like slices his throat or something, or like.
No, but have you seen? I don't want to give up. I don't know if it's that give upable, but like if you haven't seen it by now, not you, but just like the listeners or whatever.
Game of Thrones has been out long enough that we can say whatever we want.
So Arya, with her revenge, like how she.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, she got all those people back for.
That was sweet.
Yeah. And
really cool.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. That made me feel real good inside.
Same here. And it's terrible that we felt that good about a bunch of people dying.
For the right reason.
Exactly. So then I do want to get into the segment of the news stories that, I saved. But I never answered the monster thing. So you answered as...
We were bad about tangents.
You went back to like powers instead of like, or superheroes instead of monsters.
We don't have to go there, but just...
So if you... Okay. Just on Halloween, you could be a monster. Who would you be?
Oh, just on Halloween? Well, seeing as when I get too drunk, I'm pretty much like a werewolf anyways, and just turn into this thing that I don't know what it is.
You don't remember your whole night. You wake up.
Yeah, 90% of the people that I know would agree.
You wake up with injuries. Like, that's a perfect analogy for a blacked out person.
Yeah, well, I didn't wake up with.
I'm not saying that you did. I'm just saying, like, as an idea.
But when you look at me at 1:30 in the morning and there's just nothing behind my eyes, there's just like there's just nothing there. That's pretty much like you're some. You know what I mean? Like. That's scary. That's not like when I've looked at people, I'm like, you're not even here right now.
Yep.
And I know that when I get drunk, that I am similar, but I'm pretty like like not, I don't know. I'm like a nice, caring guy when I'm drunk because I'm just like so happy or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't really do any harm or anything. I mean,
but werewolf is a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
To that.
So I think it'd be cool to be a werewolf for one night, but
Yeah.
then the part of, you don't remember any of it. So it's like, would it be that cool? At least if you're a vampire, you can go like fuck with your powers and
I don't know. I think just for Halloween, I think I would like to be. I don't know. I have no idea. Like I can't even
There's
think.
There's only
of
like 4. Like you don't want to be a mummy. That's
like,
stupid.
Do I want to be like a giant like monster like Godzilla or something? Like that's a monster still, or King Kong.
Yeah, but then you're probably gonna kill somebody because when you're big like that, like I can barely not step on my daughter's foot, let alone not step on thousands of people if I'm King Kong.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with like a giant monster like that.
Okay.
King Kong.
Dope. Moving on.
But I did, like I said, I did want to get into some news stories. Oh no. Okay, I'm sorry. So I have my notes up. Everybody, this is an audio podcast, so you obviously can't see what I'm doing. But this is a thought that I had the other day while I was driving to work, because I always write these notes like when I have time to literally just be inside my own head. Wonder why we don't live every day like it's our last. What has gotten us to this point? Because essentially the world is ending for everyone, because we've talked about end of the world. We've talked about conspiracies. We've talked about all those like crazy things.
Yeah.
And technically the end of the world could be any time for you. So why don't we live every day like it's, the end of the world?
I would say the biggest reason we do not live like it's the end of the world is because it's very easy to live in the now. Like you're thinking about your problems as of like, I mean, not everybody, I guess, but you're thinking about the problems that you got going on right this second, or a week from now, or I got to pay this bill, or I got to make sure so and so gets to here on time. I think it's easy to lose.
I also want to like give my reason that I think, which is I think that everything that we've built up like as society is a distraction from the fact that it is eventually going to end for you. So like literally everything that you do is to distract you from the fact that it's not going to last forever, which I know that's deep and weird, but
no, not at all. There was a time in humanity when there weren't jobs, there weren't this and that. All you did was wake up in the morning and solely work on the fact that you're going to survive. So you go and you do your crops and you go hunt and you build your house or get ready for winter or do whatever you had to do.
Get ready to fight in a war for land.
Yeah, so that's not a thing that, I mean, the stakes aren't as high. I mean, they might be, but they're not so in your face. Like everything's like live or die all the time.
And I think that the reason that we have these thoughts and think about those things is because we're not really that far from that. Like, I mean, the humans have been around for a long time. Yeah. But at the same time, on the grand scale, we haven't been around that long. So our hardwired instincts are still there, I feel like. So then we're having to reconcile those like hardwired instincts with like the things that we know about the world. And then
I think it's important to remind
it just distracts you.
I think it's important to remind yourself, like when you can or when you get a chance, that kind of what you're saying, that you do need to live like at
least go after things that you want.
Well, let's not only say that the world is ending tomorrow. Let's just say that you're like, my life could end tomorrow. You could get in a car accident. This can happen, that can happen. You can get cancer and die. Like whatever percentage of like a high percentage of people do. Yeah. So and then you ever look back and think like, wow, that was 8 years ago. Time goes so fast, and you're gonna you just need to remind yourself to, kind of like we did on the podcast, I don't know, four podcasts ago, talking about telling our parents we love them. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just good to stop and think about how, this sounds kind of soft, but precious life is, and that
it's not soft,
and that it's important to stop and be thankful for all the shit that you have. Like I try to tell myself all the time, like when my daughter's like, "Daddy, read me this book" or something, like I try to stop and I'm looking at my phone and I feel like a piece of shit because I'm like, she's going to be a grown woman one day, and I'm going to look back on this and think, wow, I really should have just spent 5 less minutes looking at Facebook or whatever it is. So I think it's just like getting a mindset of just reminding yourself how precious life is.
Yeah, and really how exceedingly short it is.
Yeah. I think people are always afraid to do things and to take chances and do that kind of stuff, but you have to take chances because you only have a certain amount of time, and if you want to get things done, you got to, take some chances.
Speaking of taking chances, a woman tied her son to the roof so she could get a plastic pool home.
Yep, sounds completely normal to me. Was this in Indiana? Because
I really just have to know what is going on in this situation, because the first thing I think of is like the stupid shit that we did as kids. Like,
yeah.
And my mom had a Sidekick, a Suzuki Sidekick. So it was like a smaller, shittier Jeep.
Like a tracker kind of?
Yeah, kind of like that, but kind of cooler, I guess. I don't know. But like we used to sit in the back of that with no seatbelts on, and like my mom would take us to the grocery store, but we'd be sitting in the back. So it wasn't even like seats. It was just like the trunk part. And we'd be like, me and my cousin would be like leaning out the back because it was like a soft top. So she'd have all the stuff off, leaning over, like dropping just like dirt clods from like the floorboards or something like onto the road just to watch them like explode and like, go like turn to dust.
Yeah.
And that's like the first thing I thought of was like, we were stupid. We did stuff, but to have a woman,
she looks normal too.
Like she does not, and she
doesn't look normal. You don't think?
No, she looks normal.
Yeah, she looks like a normal person.
28-year-old Wisconsin woman. Wisconsin, that kind of tells you something too.
Not really, dude.
Do we have any listeners in Wisconsin? You guys know you're weird.
Not only that, but like we can't. It's Indiana. We don't have shit that we can't talk shit at all. You know the kind of shit I see on the news on a daily basis. That's like just something dumb that somebody did. So would you not at 9 years old, but if you were like 13 or 14? The answer's no. If you're gonna ask me if I would strap to the top of the roof, the answer's no. I wouldn't do that now,
dude. I know for a fact that I had to help my stepdad move some stuff back in the day, and
she couldn't. So she bought the pool, but she couldn't splurge and buy a rope.
Nope. Well, she did. She did. She strapped him down and the pool down, but the wind was too strong, so it was like pulling the pool off.
Relying on a 9-year-old's
his weight,
grip strength.
No, his weight to hold it down.
On it?
Yeah, he's on the pool to hold it down so that it doesn't fly off.
What the fuck? And no, like you sound like you're on the defense. Like she's it's totally normal.
I'm trying to defend her. No. I think it's something that she.
Anytime your child's on the outside of the car while it's moving is.
Yeah. Okay. So I was wrong. There was no rope. So the complaint says Schmunk is her name. Stated she had no way to strap it down. So she had her son climb on the roof to hold it down while she drove.
She could have just $9 more. She could have had a rope.
Not even 9.
I don't know.
I think a bungee cord is like $5, $4.
The inflation of rope cost is just really. I don't. How much rope cost? First of all, it talks about how long is the rope.
Well, the rope's not made out of hemp, so that usually makes it a lot more expensive. I don't know, but I just think that the kid could have handled it. I think that's something
that's neither here nor there. Like you don't put your kids on the outside of your vehicle. Period.
I mean, did you ever ride in the back of a truck?
Yeah,
when you were a kid,
my mom would have lost her shit if she knew about it. My dad seems like something my dad would like, go ahead. And then my mom's like I'll kill you. If
we used to love to ride in the back of the truck on the way home from football practice.
It's a total Indiana thing, too.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like the other day I was on the interstate and I saw 6 guys in the back of a truck, on the back of a pickup truck.
They probably weren't even sitting on the inside. They were probably sitting on the edge of the outside as well, weren't they?
No, they're going 70.
I'm just saying.
And then I saw a cop pass him and he just kept going. So I was like,
they don't care.
Yeah.
It's what I've heard a lot is they're an empty bag. They're not going to have a lot of money to pay. So the cop's not going to try to charge them with anything because they won't be able to pay it.
Well, that makes sense.
So that's just, like I said, I'm defending her a little bit. I think she could have gotten away with it.
Have a kid and then read that again. Cause I guarantee you.
So this leads to a different story about a man burning himself trying to have sex with an electrified fence.
So many questions.
So already questions. The
how do you have sex with a fence?
That's That's the first thing I thought. Because
and why
where is
don't you just have sex with a normal fence and not one that has electricity? I don't know, just a thought. Maybe he wanted to feel like her. I feel like
he didn't want the barbed wire fence.
He just wanted to feel what STDs feel like, a burn, like electric burn.
A rave party. That's where it started. I mean,
so he's on Molly automatically.
He's intoxicated on ecstasy.
Okay, yeah.
And sustained 3rd-degree burns on his lower abdomen and genitals. Adam, did you like how I said that? Adam Weinberg, 26, was rescued by fellow partygoers of the illegally set up rave after they noticed he was in horrible agony and unable to unclamp himself from the electrified fence surrounding the area.
Oh my god! I love that I love how they put rescuers.
Yeah.
Like what were they? Well, they just pull him off the fence.
Yes.
Oh man, it looks like that guy's getting the shit shocked out of him.
Jesus Christ. He apparently mistook the electric fence for a sexual partner before feeling the burst of 220 volts and 13 amps passing through his body. So this is his quote. I was high as fuck.
His quote.
I'd taken some GHB and some DMT to start out the party. I then did a shitload of ecstasy and a bunch of amphetamines before taking a few hits of cocaine.
This is all coming together now.
Then someone poured some acid drops into my eyes. This is fake. There's no way this is real.
Also, if this is real, he's just trying to like brag about how much drugs he did.
He's trying to sound like Hunter S. Thompson or something.
Yeah.
There's no way this is real. I should have vetted this article. This can't be a real article.
Good to find
this is a picture.
Good to find that out right now.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is.
I didn't really look into this, but
I don't know. I think either way.
Did you hear about in Greenwood? There's 2 brothers that took I don't know, some kind of hallucinogen. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Some kind of drug.
Hallucinogenic.
Yes, thanks. And it's a Greenwood Apartments over on the south side, and they got so fucking high on whatever that they were running around on top of people's cars naked, and when the cops pulled up, they were making out with each other. Brothers, 2 brothers, naked, making out with each other in the south side. On the south side.
That's ridiculous.
Like my girlfriend read.
You do need to move this up, though. I'm going to call you out again.
I was so close. Like
yeah, but it's like you just need it to be.
Put it in my mouth,
you just need it to be in front of the face. Sorry.
No, you're good. I still sound the same.
No, you sound better. You sound better. Okay, for sure. But no, that's 2 brothers, mate. Like there's some deep-seated relationship issues right there.
They've been wanting to make out.
Yeah, for sure.
This is drugs, and that'll give us a reason to. That's what it was.
So that's an interesting just side note right there. Like, do people take drugs and drink alcohol just so that they can act on some of the things that they want to act on sober?
I think so.
Because I feel like I'm pretty much down to do whatever, sober or drunk. So I don't think it really matters. I'm not down to make out with another guy, though.
Yeah, I mean, most heterosexual males. But maybe I wonder God, how awkward does that have to be after that happened?
No.
Like when you're in the police station, like, yeah, we found you, and you guys were making out. Like, what? You look at each other. And then you can't even look each other in the eyes. I guarantee it. And then if there's a 3rd brother involved, you better fucking believe that every Thanksgiving I'm going to be like, hey, remember that time you guys made out? Every time.
Every year.
Naked brothers passionately kiss in public, then attack woman.
Passionately.
Yeah.
Passionate.
I'm going to read this to you. All right. 2 drug-crazed, stark naked brothers were arrested on a laundry list of charges after punched a woman in the face when she opposed their passionate makeout session outside of an apartment complex in Indianapolis on Sunday, officials said. Timothy Batts.
This party started on Saturday,
Batts,
though.
You nasty motherfucker, and his older brother Noah Batts were completely new when an assistant manager at the Lighthouse Landing apartment spotted them passionately making out near a dumpster, according to Wish TV.
It's real romantic.
The manager alerted police and urged residents to avoid the incestuous siblings. Oh, that's nice wording there.
Incestuous.
Oh, God, I'm bad. Hey, guys.
I was trying to figure out what that word was, and then I got it.
I'm in college, guys.
We're good. I got it.
But an unassuming woman, nonetheless, came too close to the strange scene and subsequently took several punches to the face, resulting in a large...
Subsequently.
I did it right.
No,
Fuck off.
he said so. I'm going to have you read more on it.
Subsequently?
It's I can't say it now.
Yeah.
Subsequently.
Subsequently?
Yep.
So we're squinting while we're saying it? Large knot on her forehead, cop said. The woman fled to her car, at which point one of the brothers began banging on her window while hurling death threats. Dude, he was pissed.
Hurling.
How dare you stop that man from making out with his brother?
Hurling death threats.
What did I say?
No, I'm just saying.
I thought you were like, God.
What is hurling death threats? Like, I mean, I guess, is he just screaming them at her?
No, hurling means to throw.
I know.
So he's throwing him.
That's
like,
weird.
I'm going to throw some verbal hurlage at you. I don't know. I'm stuck on the fact that these guys I'm glad I found that so quickly.
That was impressive. For somebody who doesn't take notes, that was pretty good.
Johnny on the spot. If you and I can get IMBD, and next time I'm like, remember that movie with
IMBD.
Remember that movie with
it is IMDb, right?
IMDb? What IMDb?
You said IMBD.
You know that website IMPD? It's Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department.
I think
I get excited and say things wrong, right?
I love it. That's why I'm laughing.
Yeah, that
and I hope everybody else is.
IMPD.
They give really good movie reviews.
The FFA.
Okay, so we have gotten on to talks about artificial intelligence before.
Yeah.
So Saudi Arabia did declare a AI robot a citizen. It's the very first robot to be declared a citizen. How over under on the years that we're going to experience Terminator?
You're asking me?
Yeah. What do you think?
Well, if you go back to Terminator 2,
I'm in. Let's hear it.
I don't know it says I don't know, some year 2024. There's going to be. I just made that up. I don't know.
That's probably right.
Yeah, I feel like that feels right.
What is it, like Time Cop was 2004?
Yeah.
Something ridiculous.
Damn you, Jean-Claude Van JCVD.
Yep. So Sophia, a smart and outspoken robot.
Can I just make a point real quick?
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia.
How do they have robots?
Not only
I guess they're rich.
Let's
oil money.
Let's take all our problems that we have, with Saudi Arabia and all, and then let's focus them on making a robot a citizen.
Yeah.
I think all this it wasn't like.
Yeah, they have like a terrible country, but they have a lot of oil money, don't they?
I guess I don't know.
That's eventually going to run out.
Kind of in my mind, like let's hit the hard stuff. Like let's save some lives, and not worry about robots being citizens. I just picture. I know they have lots of money. You're saying, but I just picture like the shittiest robot.
It's not. I mean,
it's not.
That's it right there.
It looks like a mannequin.
It is. It definitely looks like one. Sophia Robot. That's her name. That's very fucking
clever.
God, you guys.
Jeez,
that's
they really went out of their way on that one.
Sophia Robot. That's like.
Can't even put the.
That would be
Sophia the robot.
It's just like it'd be like me.
My last name's Robot.
Justin Man.
Justin Person.
An advanced lifelike humanoid robot spoke October 25th at a panel on robotics and artificial intelligence in the Future Investment Initiative Conference in Riyadh. I think that's Riyadh. Shortly before being declared a citizen of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the first country to grant citizenship to a robot.
Forget the space race. Here we go. Fucking robots in Saudi Arabia.
We're going to have them, and they're going to take over, and AI is going to take over, and then humans are going to go extinct.
Yeah, that sounds
probably 100 years.
That sounds like some shit Saudi Arabia would pull. Like, don't you give us enough problems?
They didn't even build it, though. The robot was built by Hong Kong-based Hanson Robotics.
Why is it in Saudi Arabia? If you would have told me it's from Hong Kong, I would have been like, duh.
They just bought it because full circle, they just have a lot of money, so they want a robot.
Yeah, and oh my God. Jesus, I just picture this list of like things we need to conquer. Citizen robot, people starving to death.
She actually spoke. Thank you to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I am very honored and proud for this unique distinction. It is historic to be the first robot in the world to be recognized with citizenship.
So just like every other real person, she's reading from a script.
Sophia ably fielded various questions on robots. When asked about the evil futuristic robots depicted in films like Blade Runner 2049, Sophia said humans have nothing to fear, especially that's exactly what a robot that was going to kill you would say.
Typical robot.
Like, come on, get the fuck out of here.
Or just be like, are you guys going to take... I don't know what you're talking about.
And she says, you've been reading too much Elon Musk and watching too many Hollywood movies, Sophia jokingly told Sorkin. I don't know. That's exactly what a robot would say.
As she creepily grins.
Exactly, like winks. Why are you winking? Oh, I just must have had a glitch.
We didn't teach you how to wink. I taught myself. She already knows everything. She downloaded the computer into her mind.
So basically, back to like a lot of the talks that we've had already, I want a robot for Christmas.
I don't. I have no desire to have something in my house that's like...
I definitely want a smart house too. Like I want everything connected.
No, man. Yeah,
I think we're the opposite though. I think
I don't want to be on the... Yeah.
I think you'd rather be off the grid, wouldn't you?
Yeah, like with the whole Fitbits. I kind of want a Fitbit, but like I just feel like now someone knows. I mean, I guess with my phone it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't like when...
So my wife and I were just talking about something, and literally 2 minutes later, I saw an ad for it on Facebook. Didn't search for anything. The phone is actually listening to what you're talking about.
And you guys have that damn Amazon thing.
Yep.
Yeah, and you're like, turn it up. Put it on 90s pop.
Shane doesn't want his voice on there. Called? The Echo.
Yeah. What's her name?
Alexa.
Alexis. Or Alexa?
He did say Alexis a lot.
Alexa. And then you're like, play the Monster Mash.
Yep. And it was great.
And then it's like...
The Monster Mash.
And then next day it's like... On your phone, it's like on Amazon, like buy the Halloween's greatest hits for $19.99.
Yep, absolutally.
Yeah.
So I like that though. It's tailored to me.
No, you don't. You're just saying that. You don't. That's creepy as fuck.
And we just got the Amazon Fire TV as well. So like,
have you seen the video of like them like filming one of those things, and you're like, whatever her name is the CIA listening, and then it like just turns off. I'm serious. There's a video of that.
Fake. That's gotta be fake.
Creepy as shit. Yeah, that's her name.
Somebody overdubbed it.
I had this friend that was house sitting, and you can like order stuff on Amazon just by saying it in the thing. So she was house sitting, and like the whole time he made a list of like he would just be hanging out like watching TV and be like, Alexa, please put on my list 20 bags of condoms, or just like
yeah, we did that too when we first got it because it's funny. It repeats what you said.
I wouldn't know. I'm not into that.
No, you just don't even want to talk around it, do you? Because you think that it's like
creepy.
gonna.
It's probably listening to me now, right? Somehow, I don't know. We're gonna go downstairs and be like, the Monster Mash will be on.
It will be. No, it won't. But yeah, I think technology is advancing at a rapid rate, and we're not going to be here anymore in about 100 years.
Scary as shit. Man,
it's just going to all be AI.
Yeah, part of me feels like
hopefully I can get downloaded before I'm gone, and then I can live forever because I want to.
Yeah, but is that you, or is that just a copy of you? We already talked about this last time. But
it's me.
Yeah, but then the real you is dead.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Oh, you just like don't care. Like like before I was doing this, I'd be real worried about all this shit. You're like, yeah, well, you know,
we'll give it a shot. Just like I want to like.
If it doesn't work, whatever.
Just like I would love to be a part of the mission to Mars, the one where you live there and you like are the.
Nope.
You're never coming back.
I was on board for a second, and then.
Well, that's actually like what's going on, like that they're putting together right now is the trip there. They're going to go there to like do like a colony type thing, and they're not ever coming back.
Obviously never seen every fucking movie ever. Or they go to some planet and they're like, we'll be there in 27 years. I know it's closer than that, but I'm saying like, and then
it is like, I think I want to say like 10 or
and you're going to wake up fucking a month into it and then eat everybody's rations. And then it's going to be crazy. And then some kind of alien's going to board your ship.
I don't know. I just think it'd be interesting because then you'd go down in history as being the person that went
and kill everybody by eating their rations. No more paste for you. You're going to be Matt Damon on Mars with making
Matt Damon.
You're going to eat potatoes for 3 years.
He's going to science the shit out of this.
He's a pretty amazing guy.
Yeah, he is.
If he did everything he did in his movies, holy shit.
I'm not going to ruin it. Never mind. I was about to ruin something for you. So I'm not going to do it.
No, do it.
Nope, not going to do it because it's part of the Thor stuff, and I don't want to ruin it.
Oh, Matt Damon's in it?
Nope. There was a preview for a movie before that had Matt Damon in it.
Maybe I know what it is.
It was the Little People. Like there's
I've seen it. Yeah,
that movie. That was another trailer though that I wanted to bring up because we were talking about stuff surprising you and things being original and different. That's a different idea.
Yeah,
the whole it gets real dark and weird.
For people who don't know, explain what.
Basically, it's a movie where Matt Damon and his wife are not rich, but they're doing okay, but they don't like their lives, and so there's this program where you can get shrunk down to a little tiny size, and basically if, for example, I think they had $100,000 or something, and in the Little People world where they've built these giant thing, these giant parks where all these people live, the 100,000 goes to 300 million or something.
Everybody gets a mansion.
Yeah, because you can afford whatever you want because
picture
everything's small.
Yeah, picture a small an acre, but with hundreds of thousands of people on it because you're smaller.
Yeah, exactly. And but basically it just takes a turn and then it gets weird and it's not really ruining it because it's in the trailer. His wife decides to not be shrunk at the same time as him being shrunk. She literally leaves and then they get a divorce while he's little and she's normal size.
So is it bad that I immediately thought how are they going to have sex? Is he just gonna
Yeah, they just get a divorce, and that's one of the jokes in the trailer is the guy keeps telling him to write his name bigger on the contract, on signing the divorce papers. He's try to make it bigger, and Matt Damon's trying to draw his name really big on the paper. It's pretty funny. That's
like you said, a pretty original thought.
It's just an interesting idea. I've never seen something like that. So
I get tired of seeing the same shit over and over again. So it's nice.
Speaking of the same shit over and over again, though, Pacific Rim 2 looks pretty badass too, which is the giant robots fighting the giant monsters.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
I think it's cool.
I don't know why. It just is one of the coolest things in the world to me.
It is cool. I do like it. It's not my
But we're getting right around the hour. We're over the hour this time.
Oh shit! We better get out of here.
No, we better calm it down a little bit.
We can't keep these people's attention for more than an hour.
They've probably already turned it off. To be honest.
Well, if you've already turned it off, fuck you.
So we are in the process of getting shirts. Shane's doing all of the legwork, and I appreciate it.
We're super close. We're I would say maybe a couple weeks out.
And once we get them, I'm actually, instead of just giving them away, I think you and I should talk about setting up AP from Smugcast set up a store on Facebook where people could buy.
They're actually going to be $300 a piece. Just kidding.
If we sell one,
I love that I had to say I'm just kidding.
No, because we would. I
just see somebody at home God, I wanted one.
So I think we should make one $300 and put our autograph on it and be this is going to be worth way more in the future.
Yeah, dude, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, Or we could have, I think maybe we could take some of them and do an online store, like you said.
Yep.
And then, obviously, we could do a giveaway maybe.
Yeah,
for
definitely. We're definitely going to do a giveaway for when we hit 500 followers on Facebook. Because right now we're at 460 right now.
Yeah, and we're getting all sizes. And the guy that's giving me the shirts told me it's from California. I mean, everything's cooler because it's from California.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I wanted to go there.
But then we're getting grade A. We're not just getting shitty shirts that you
Gildan.
Yeah,
the original ones that I got.
No, I didn't. I haven't even felt the fabric from
pretty
those.
good. Pretty good.
These ones are way cooler, mostly because they have my name on it.
That's actually a good addition. I do like it.
I'm just kidding.
It does look good.
But yeah, so that's happening, and then I'm still working on the sticker thing, but I'm trying to get
I want to get get other podcasts to send us some stickers so I can put them on the computer,
and we could do the same, trade some stickers.
Definitely.
But so I'm trying to get 100 of those to start out with maybe, and then the shirts are it's almost
I just have to get you the money.
No. I mean, I have to go get shirts from somebody and then take them to this guy, but
the legwork you're doing is important. The thing that I want to thank the people that listen and share and comment and go back and forth with me. I want to say thank you to you guys again, as I always do, because I think that you guys are the reason that I keep doing this. This wouldn't be fun if we didn't get any feedback at all.
Yeah, you guys are the most important aspect of this whole thing, is the fact that we need help from you guys more than anything else.
Yep. Share share it with other people, because if one of you shares it with another person, they might share it with another person, then it might get shared with the right people, and then we get in touch with some,
exactly. And
great
if you're anything like me, I was looking for like something to listen to where we always go back to like-minded people. And when I found this podcast and I found other podcasts, I'm like, wow, there's people out there talking about these things. So if you have friends that you think that you're interested in this stuff, you probably have friends that have like-minded ideas that are interested in this as well. And they'll love to listen to the podcast.
The other thing that I've always wanted to say too is if anybody wants to be on, it doesn't have to be somebody famous. Like it could literally be anybody that wants to do the show.
Yeah, I actually I have a buddy that's helping out with the shirts, and he said he might want to come on and talk about. He has his own clothing brand based out of Minnesota, and like you just said, we could just literally, if you have any kind of something interesting to bring to the table, then we want to hear about it.
Yeah.
To make this thing better.
Yeah, and it's just always interesting to talk to people about something that they are either really into,
about,
really good at, or just like super passionate about it, like you said.
It's cool for us because we get to hear things that we don't necessarily know about from like a different world. So like Chris Heffernan, he's a MMA fighter. I've never stepped into an octagon in my entire life.
I wouldn't want to, because I would just get beat up.
Exactly. So I probably never will, but it's cool to hear about what someone thinks about when they're going through that, and that will go along with just about anything else, any kind of other hobbies you guys have, or so let us know and we'll get you on here.
Absolutely. But once again, don't forget to check out the beer review too on YouTube.
Hell yeah. It's a porter, right?
The last one I did was a
stout.
It was a peanut butter stout.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. Like, it actually was tasty. Like, I liked that one way better than I liked the Russian Imperial Stout. Like, the Russian Imperial Stout was too, like, syrupy. Like, it was, like, making my lips sticky and, like, bleh. Like, I just, that was the noise I made when I wasn't a fan.
Things that make you go, ugh.
Yeah, I was not a fan. But definitely check out the beer review. It's a thing that I do every week. It gets posted every Friday. So you're going to get the beer review. Hopefully, you've already listened to the NFL themed podcast that came out on Sunday, and
for God's sakes, people, give us some negative feedback.
Yeah,
we want it. We want it.
Tell me that you don't like the way.
This is the only case where you can talk shit and not get hit.
Yeah.
So just talk some shit. Tell us we're bad.
I don't ever hit anybody. I don't think I've ever hit anybody. So I'm definitely not going to hit them, even if they talk shit that deserves to get hit for. But once again, thank you for listening, and we will be back next week.
Bye.
That's good.
Juice in the morning. Juice in the morning. Juice in the morning. Juice in the morning.